Good evening, my dears. I hope you guys are doing okay. If you clicked on this video, probably that you're going through a hard time. It's okay. I've recently been through one of the worst breakdown in my entire life. I'm still going through it. It's doing slightly better. And I decided to share some of the best tips that are helping me. So very first, I would suggest you to talk about it. The type of conversations that you should have is with people that are involved in your obligations. I'm talking about your boss. I'm talking about your teachers. I'm talking about like all these people that you feel a lot of pressure in the relationship that you have to deliver. And to me, it was very hard, guys. But I had a conversation last week with my boss, and I was impressed to see how some people are super well educated. And my boss just told me, Miguel, take time for you, go to see the doctor if you can. I would suggest you to have like 2 weeks off. When she was counting on me on different projects that we're working on. But she gave me that because she's super well educated and she knows exactly what it means, and that it's a very important problem that we should not take for granted. Try as much as you can to get some free time for yourself. That's my second advice, but actually very linked to the first one, because once you talk about it, you feel legitimate with yourself and with the world to take some time for yourself. I know sometimes it's very hard. For example, me, I'm not in a great financial situation, so I could not take necessarily a lot of vacation and a lot of time for myself because I don't have the money to sustain my needs. But you would be surprised also to see how many resources that there are. Like you can go on medical leave and still get, 70% of your salary or stuff like that. For school, I remember when I was at the university, I remember some friends of mine went through a hard time. And basically, the teacher postponed the deadline to allow them to like have more time and focus on their mental health. So you would be surprised how many resources there are when we decide to talk about how we feel. It's extremely powerful. It's very hard to heal and to get better if you don't have the time to do it. Especially when we're going through depression and anxiety, we tend to feel very low energy, and we don't have a lot of motivation. But this, like, depression brings you something. Depression is not entirely bad in a way, because it is there for a reason. Depression is the result of the wrong things in society. This is not us that are sick because we're feeling depressed, but it shows how society on some level has failed. If you look precisely, a lot of people that are depressed are minorities, why? Because society is not taking care of these needs, right? And it's the same. For example, for me, it was kind of a burnout from 9 to 5 jobs and the grind and all the idea of, performing, because these things are not important. They are there to pay bills. For me, maybe for you it is, but for me, it is not important. It is not what life is all about. And I think it's just the idea that I have so much pressure on performing on things that are not so important for me really got me. Get time for yourself. It's very important. Number 3, once you get time for yourself, you will see that very quickly you start to get a bit more of energy. I'm not putting pressure on you, okay? It's not going to be a lot. When I say a bit of energy, it might be a bit of energy to go to the grocery store, a bit of energy to go to take a walk around your house, maybe 10 minutes, maybe 15 minutes. It's wonderful. This is the beginning of the process. This is the beginning of the recovery. As soon as you start to feel this energy, try as much as you can to invest this energy in reconnecting with your body. Through this past 5, I've been off for 5 days from my job. I've been doing a bit of yoga. In the first days, I had much more energy because I was not working, so I had the motivation to do yoga. And guys, let me tell you, I do yoga with Adrienne on YouTube. I do gentle yoga. I cannot do like hardcore yoga. No, I need things to be chill currently because I don't have the energy to do a real workout. So it has to be gentle. And I just discovered like I reconnected with my body, and most importantly, I reconnected with my breathing. Breathing has been one of the best tools for me these past couple days. Like I would just wake up and breathe in my bed for 10-20 minutes. After that, I would do yoga and breathing the entire time, and then I take my shower, I breathe. Just breathing is so powerful because you realize that as long as you're breathing, you're alive in a way, and that you have so much control. And sometimes when we're depressed, especially when we're depressed, the breathing is very low. Like you breathe very quickly and you don't really take the time. And once you take the time, it relieves a lot of the anxiety. So the body, the physical reaction of the disease, of the anxiety, and of the depression is very important to take care of this, because it's a big part of the stress in a way. Look for a state of flow. I had desire for almost nothing during these past couple of days, so I started just laying down on this couch. I have my TV over there, and I just downloaded Disney Plus, and I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna watch some Disney movie. It's light. It's always very catchy, and guys, I just had the best time watching movies. I watched Soul, and I cried. Like, I'm crying in front of every movie. I'm just having moments when I completely stop thinking. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't work. Tonight I watched a movie, it didn't work. Like, I would think I would be anxious. I was waiting for the end. I wanted to move. I was like, what am I going to do after? Sometimes it doesn't work, but sometimes it works. And sometimes it gets your mind away. And I got my mind away watching this movie Soul, and I cried when I... Anyways, I'm not going to get it too much into the details, but there was that scene that made me realize so many things about my life, that I actually should focus on the little things more, that I've been losing perspective. And I just think it's important to find moments for yourself where you just get your mind away. And sometimes it's very hard to get to that point. And that's also part of the reason why I'm depressed, is because I cannot stop thinking. I'm always thinking. And I think this is fear in a way, because I don't want to face reality in a way. So I prefer constantly thinking, planning. And that gets me to my very last advice, to take things day by day. And I think a lot of us are feeling depressed because things are not going the way that we would like them to go. And actually, I read something about that not that long ago. And happiness is wishing that things were different, which means that happiness in a way is accepting reality the way it is. And it's extremely difficult to do. And I think a lot of us are feeling depressed because we wish things were different. We wish we were at a different place in life. We wish we had more. We wish we were with people we loved more time, or that we had more time for ourselves, right? And I think at some point you get so obsessed with the idea of how can I build that for myself? What can I do? You plan to get that perfect life, that you forget that life is also happening now. And actually life is only happening now. And that there is a way to find balance in the reality that we're living, It's, instead of focusing on the long-term goal, the idea is to gain perspective and to focus on the day-to-day. What is it right now that I can do to feel better? Is it a salad that I want to make for myself? Is there a recipe that I have the energy to do? Because most of the time we don't have the energy, right? I haven't had the energy to cook for myself this past couple of days. But is there something that I feel like doing? Is there something that right now that could make me feel better? And try to forget as much as we can about the future, because the mindset that we have when we're feeling anxious and depressed is just not the mindset to think about the future. Like, it doesn't help ever. Like, because we will never think about the future in a positive way. It's always going to be more worries and more depression. So try to take things step by step. This is pretty much it, guys. These are the advices that I had. Again, guys, if you're watching this video, it's probably because you've been feeling a bit more anxious. Please, guys, just listen to yourself when you're feeling a bit on the edge. Don't push too much, okay? Because, me, it has been 3-4 months that I've first noticed little signs that things were doing bad. And I broke down, like, probably 2 weeks ago, like 3 weeks ago, a real breakdown. Like, I started crying all the time, and I starting to, like, have no desire for nothing. And I'm just guys, if you're not there yet, like, don't ignore the signs, because you don't want to get there. Like the goal is to avoid you getting there. There are things that we can do on a day-to-day. Like all the things that I mentioned in this video are things that should be done in prevention. That these are things that we should have time to take care of ourselves on a day-to-day. Like it's so important to focus on ourselves and our mental health. And I'm someone who's like, I'm always looking around people that I love, do they need anything or whatever. And of course I'm not perfect at it, but I try as much as I can. Like I call my mom almost every day. My partner, it's very important for me to know that he's doing fine. But it's very important also to focus on yourself and to say no when you need to say no, because it's what you need. So just don't ignore the signs, guys, because it's coming. If you ignore them, it's coming. To me, honestly, guys, I haven't been through that a lot of times in my life. It's probably the second, third time that I'm going through something so deep, and it's not fun. It's really not fun. Anyways, I hope this video is going to help you in any kind of ways. I would love to have your other advices that you have in the comment section. And great recovery if you're going through this as well. And yes, a lot of love and peace for you guys. Bye-bye.